killers who escaped prison late last week. Hi everyone, I'm Gretchen Carlson. We're here to bring you the real story today. Even as the dragnet to find them grows, with calls coming in from Vermont to Philly, police are reportedly closing in now. They say they may have the men contained in an area between Dannemora and Plattsburgh, New York. You can see it on the map there. The area police say they are closing in on just a 15-mile stretch from the prison that Richard Matt and David Sweat broke out of. We're also learning that because police haven't found any stolen vans, they do not believe the men got that far. They also say there was that woman who worked with the two men in the prison leather shop. Police believe she was in on the escape, but she backed out at the last minute. All right, we're going to go right now to somebody who knows all about doing these kinds of searches. Police using all means necessary to try and catch this guy, and that includes using bounty hunters. He's the National Association of Fugitive Recovery Agents and owner of Metro Court Services and a bounty hunter. Chuck, great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me, Gretchen.
All right, so explain for us what they're doing right now. They're casting a wide net or a small net?
Well, I would say right now, in terms of manpower and boots on the ground, they're casting a small net, but obviously through media and other resources, they're casting quite a wide net.
Okay, now you know about something as a bounty hunter, Mr. Jordan, as a mouse trap of sorts. What is that sort of technique?
A mouse trap is when you, especially when you have limited manpower, you know, you may identify, for instance, 5 locations where you think a fugitive is most likely to be. Out of that 5 locations, you might take 4 of those locations and hit all 4 of those houses, you know, overtly surveil it, put a lot of heat on those 4 locations, and covertly surveil the 5th, you know, very subtly. And hopefully you're going to drive them into the 5th location and, you know, make the apprehension.
Okay, now let me ask you this. There was this report that the woman inside that prison leather shop was helping them, supposedly going to provide the getaway car, and then had a panic attack and ended up at the hospital instead. Do you think that they have more help than allegedly just her?
Oh, I do. I think a guy, particularly a guy like Richard Matt, is going to have a plan B.
Why?
Well, if you look at his history, you know, his previous escapes, you know, he fled to Mexico, the type of things that this guy does, not to mention the amount of time and planning and effort involved in the escape, these guys have a lot riding on it. So I really believe that they do have a plan B and that there's somebody else that's helping them.
Okay, do you coordinate, do bounty hunters in general coordinate with police's efforts, or do you work independently?
For the most part, we work independently. You know, bail bonds cases are the ones that we have statutory and contractual authority to work. There are times where, you know, we may assist the police and things like that, but in general, you know, we work autonomously from them.
Okay, so you saw that map where police think they may have pinned them in this 15-mile range, probably thinking that they're on foot or maybe hiding out in somebody's home. But here's the question, Chuck. Do you think that they stay together the longer this search goes on?
I believe in the short term, these guys are going to stay together. I mean, obviously living together and, you know, working on this escape together, they probably developed a bit of a bond and sort of rely on each other for support. But if they stay on the loose for any length of time, I'm pretty certain that they'll, you know, part ways eventually.
All right, expert bounty hunter Chuck Jordan, thanks so much for your expertise. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So for the latest on the search